Did you ever have the chance to meet David Barron?
I met him twice.
Okay. I want to talk to you about the first time that you met him, and I'm going to approach. Who's
Me.
showing you defendant 73. You recognize that?
I do.
Okay. What is that?
That is the Saturday of Georgia-Florida weekend in 2024. And we were there to watch the football game, or the first half, and Suzanne wanted me to meet David.
Is this a photo of you guys from that date?
Yes.
When you first met David Barron?
Correct.
Okay. Does it fairly and accurately represent the two of you on that same date that you met David Barron?
Yes, sir.
Move to tender 73.
No objections.
Admitted.
May I have the helmet, Jeff? Tell us where this is first, city and all that stuff.
St. Simon's Island, Georgia, and Brogan's Restaurant.
You said it was the Georgia-Florida game, and I know that's typically at a certain time, but could you give us an orientation of, as close as you can, date?
Yes, it's always right around Halloween. It's either the last Saturday of October or the first Saturday in November, but that's where it falls.
Okay. Was this the first time that you ever met David Barron?
Yes,
Okay. Was that a long meeting with him that time, or just very brief?
very brief.
Did you have another occasion to meet Mr. Barron that was, I guess, longer than this first meeting for the Georgia-Florida game date?
I did.
Okay. Roughly when was that?
That was January 18th, 2025, at my sister's birthday.
January 18th, 2025, at your sister. Which sister is this?
Leslie. It was her 60th birthday, and it was a surprise party.
Okay. Do you know her birthday offhand?
I do.
Okay. What is it?
January 18th.
Okay. That's how you know it was January 18th?
That's how I know, yes.
Was this, what kind of party was this? You said it's a birthday party, but are we talking about a small group of people? Are we talking about a larger group of people? Is this in public? Is it in private?
It was a private party, but it was a surprise party for Leslie with all of her close friends, so it was a large party. I'd venture to say 30 to 40 people, probably.
How many of the siblings, meaning the Mericles or the extended Mericles, were there?
All of them.
Did Suzanne come?
Yes,
And did Mr. Barron come?
he did.
Had you ever, before this night, before January 18th, 2025, had you ever had any conversations with Mr. Barron at all?
No, other than nice to meet you at Brogan's.
On this night, on this birthday party night, was Suzanne there with David as a couple?
Yes, they arrived together.
So this is his first time meeting the family, if you will?
Correct.
Okay. You've got 7 siblings, and she's got a new boyfriend, right?
Correct.
Was this one of those let's see what's going on here kind of things?
Yeah, I'd say we were focused on Leslie for her birthday, but we were definitely looking forward to getting to know David.
Okay. What, if anything, did you notice about Suzanne and David's interaction on that weekend, on January 18th, at this party?
They would interact some, but then I'd find them kind of sitting by themselves or over by the bar. This is a big barn property, and they have a nice party set up, and so they would be sitting over by the bar, chatting quietly, just to each other. And then Suzanne would come engage and play in this card game a little bit, but then he'd pull her back again, and they'd be talking again. And so it wasn't typical party behavior where everyone else was kind of engaged with everybody and walking around and talking to everybody. And then, we'd engage her again and she'd come back and hang with us.
What did you conclude about, well, how had she up until this time behaved at parties like this from your observations?
Super fun and involved in all the fun stuff that was going on. You know, we're all kind of gregarious and like to have fun, and kind of she was the life of the party and having a great time.
Was that consistent with what you saw from her on 1/18/25?
No.
Now, you didn't see any violence between the two of them?
No.
Did she talk to you at all about him later at any date, at any time around this time? What was she telling you about him?
Up until that time, nothing negative. Just, I didn't talk to her as much because she was, you know, with him all the time. And it seemed like she was kind of molding her life around his. But I just assumed she was happy, and that was where she was heading, and they'd bought a house together, and, you know, she was kind of riding off into the sunset with her knight in shining armor.
Did you know about the purchase of the house in Hall County?
I did.
Was that something that the siblings and you thought was a good plan for her?
Not necessarily. We thought it moved very quickly, when that worried us.
Did she ever characterize Mr. Barron to you as a really good guy?
Yes.
At some point, did she start talking to you about some concerns with him?
Yes.
Were you aware of a paramour or another woman that potentially had been involved with Mr. Barron?
Yes.
Did Ms. Mericle talk to you about that?
Yes.
What was it that you were kind of serving as? What was your role when you're talking to Suzanne after these concerns about the other woman and I guess just dealing with her as her closest sibling?
You know, I would just kind of let her speak and let her be heard, and, you know, to hope that she's okay. And she always knew that she could talk to me without judgment. And I just wanted to learn what was going on with her and try to help her and advise her.
And how were you helping and advising her? What were you trying to give her to assist her as she's dealing with the issue with Mr. Barron?
That, you know, at the beginning, when she first found out about it, and he was saying that he was going to stop sending money, and she was like, you know, okay, I'm going to give him the chance to do that. And then he showed his true colors, and he didn't stop doing that. And so I tried to help her end it, or advise her to, you know, remind her that he has shown his true colors. You know, we were always taught when someone shows you who they are, believe them. But she just wanted to continue to see the good in him.
When you're talking to her about leaving, about ending the relationship, does it seem like it's getting through to her at periods of time?
Yes, at times.
Did she express to you wanting to leave that relationship?
Yes, over and over.
Did you notice after I guess, where she's kind of come over to the side of I want to leave the relationship, did you notice that would change at some time?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I would, and it wasn't just me, my sister Leslie and I spoke to her. She would kind of talk to both of us. And so when we would talk to her, she'd say, I know, y'all are right. You're right. I'm going to leave. I deserve better. I don't deserve this. I just want to be loved. And I thought he was the one. And so, but she would come around and say, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to be with him anymore. And then she'd kind of drop off the face of the earth, and we would know that he had worked his way back into her, and then we wouldn't hear from her.
Were you even aware that she had been arrested and charged with the DUI in Hall County?
No.
I want to talk about the weekend of March the 6th and the 7th, okay?
Okay.
Did you know ahead of time that she was going to be going to the lake house in Hall County? Were you aware of that? Did she say, I'm going to the lake house this weekend, if you recall?
Yes, I believe I was aware of that. Yes, in fact, I was aware because she had said he came down and surprised me. And I thought, oh no, here we go. He's pulling her back.
When March the 7th comes around, do you remember if you talked to her at all on that day?
No, I definitely had not.
Did you, on March the 8th, in the early morning hours, receive some calls from Miss Mericle?
I did.
Did you answer those calls?
I did not.
When was the first time that you recognized that you had missed calls in the late night hours?
When I woke up the next morning, probably 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll guess.
When you saw the missed calls from Suzanne, what came to your mind?
I thought I need to check on her because I had calls from her in the past in midnight or later hours, and occasionally I would be up or I would hear the phone ring and I would answer, but most of the time I'd be asleep, so I would reach out to her the next morning, make sure she was okay. And so I thought I need to reach out to her again and make sure she's okay.
And were you able to make contact with her?
No.
What did you do next?
So I waited. I texted her and said, are you okay? I think I called her first. She didn't answer. And so I texted her and said, I missed your calls last night, just calling to make sure everything's okay, or checking in. And so I tried not to get alarmed. I just had a gut feeling. I just didn't feel good about it because she has her phone with her all the time. But I thought if she was up late, maybe she's sleeping in. I hope that's the case. So I just kind of let it go. And then a few hours later, I was really getting worried. I had this instinct. And so I texted her and said, if I don't hear from you by X time, and I don't know what time I gave, but I gave a number, a time period. And I said, I'm going to have someone come check on you because I'm really getting nervous. So, and in the meantime, I tried to nonchalantly call the kids to see, because she talks to her kids all the time, and especially Mary Madden. So I just, nonchalantly said, hey, have you talked to your mom today or heard from her? And Mary Madden said, no, what's wrong? And so I said, nothing, I missed a call, and I'm, just checking on her.
So now you've texted, called, reached out to her kids. Is your anxiety level going further and further and further?
Yes.
Are you very, very concerned at the time that
I'm getting very, very concerned.
Do you make a phone call to 911?
I do. That time came and passed, and I was like, I'm calling 911. I just was terrified that something bad had happened, because now hours have gone by and she has not called or texted me or her children, and we've all tried reaching her. And so I just had this elevated angst, and I was like, I'm not waiting. We've already lost another sister to domestic violence, and I'm not going to do it again.
Judge, I'm going to play State's Exhibit 1 starting at 5:30, 5:22.
Hall County Dispatch, how may I help you?
Hi, I need to ask someone to do a welfare check on my sister.
Okay. And what's the address?
Okay, it is 4238 Bay Ridge Drive.
Okay, and what is your sister's name?
Suzanne, Suzanne, Mericle, M as in Mary, ERICLE.
And what's her date of birth?
How
old is she?
May 15th, 61, I think. I have 6 siblings. I can't keep track of all of them.
Okay. And tell me what happened.
So she has a lake house. We live on St. Simon's, and she has a lake house. And I woke up this morning to 2 missed calls from her in the middle of the night. And she has been in a not good relationship lately. And I don't know the guy very well, but I know he's a heavy drinker, and she's been trying to get out of that relationship. And he keeps pulling her back in. Well, I called her first thing when I woke up and saw the missed calls, and no answer. And I called her about an hour later, no answer. Text too. She lives with her phone. And so I said, I'm worried, call me. I'm about to call your children, which I knew she would not be happy with. So I called them, and so they haven't heard from her either since 8 o'clock last night. And they've been trying to call her, and she just would never not answer her phone. So then I called the boyfriend, David Barron, and his is going straight to voicemail. And this is just not like her. And just knowing that he's kind of isolating her, and I've been through this with another sister, and it turned out the worst case scenario, and I just have a feeling it is, I don't know. But the fact that I cannot get her is very unusual.
Okay. What's your phone number?
It's 912.
And what is your name?
Dana Gardner. And her adult children have tried calling her, and I mean, she lives for them and would never not answer the phone.
Okay, so I'm going to have an officer call you. When they call, it'll come from a blocked, private, or unknown number, okay?
I will answer.
All right, I'll have them call you here shortly.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Dispatch Monica.
Those are all my questions. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Hi, Ms. Gardner. Can you hear me if I just leave this right over here?
I sure can.
I just have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, you established that you and Suzanne are sisters.
Yes.
Okay. And you're the older sister?
I'm the youngest.
Oh, I apologize. Suzanne is Suzanne the oldest?
No, she's in the middle.
Okay, she's in the middle. Okay, but in terms of sisters, you are the youngest?
Yes,
Okay. And you live on St. Simon's, right?
I do.
Are you a realtor?
I am.
Okay. A realtor selling properties on St. Simon's?
Mostly, but also on the mainland.
Okay. And at some point, you agreed to sell Suzanne's condo for?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I want to just go over a few text messages that you had with Suzanne.
Okay.
So,
Excuse me.
I don't want to say your whole phone number out loud, but does it end in 4506?
It does.
Okay. And Suzanne's ends in 4039?
Yes.
Okay. This is. I just want to show you some text messages that you had with your sister. Do you
Okay.
mind just looking over these and see if you recognize them?
I don't have my glasses on, so this is a blur.
We're going to have is there a way to shut off a TV but allow us to
Can you get your readers?
My readers are with my husband.
Okay.
Let's accomplish that. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I should have brought them up with me.
You can go ahead. It's okay.
Thank you. Okay, it's still very small, but I can see it. Okay, what was the question?
If you could just flip through them and see if you recognize them, that would be great. Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I recognize them.
Do they fairly and accurately depict the conversations or some of the conversations that you've had with Suzanne?
I haven't read them, the detail of them, but, because there's many pages here. Let's see. Yes.
Okay. I'll take that back from you. I promise it'll be pumped up to a bigger screen.
Okay.
At this point, the state moves to tender 199G.
And no further objection to 199G.
Do you mind,
Admitted. Going laptop or doc cam?
Laptop.
Oh, you do? I don't know. Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot bigger, I promise. Okay, so I believe I remember you talking about let me just find my notes. The 18th was your sister Leslie's 60th birthday?
That's correct.
Okay. And the date of these text messages that are up on the screen right now, they're January 20th, 2025.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Okay, so 2 days after the party.
that's right.
So you say to her, and this is you, morning, everything okay, correct?
Yes,
And she says, it is good, I will talk to you later, love you.
yes,
And you say, love you too. Have a good weekend, correct?
yes. Have a good week.
Oh, have a good week, my apologies. And she says, you too, correct?
Yes,
So then at around 10:44 p.m. and change on the 20th, she says to you, are you awake? Yes?
yes,
Followed up by, you say, yes, what's up? Yes?
yes,
She says, I'm not sure what I need to do. You say, about, and she says some words, and then about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I saw where David was texting with other women, and I confronted him, and now it's just blown up. That was sent by Suzanne, correct?
correct,
She says, what can somebody just love me, correct?
correct.
Suzanne then says, and this is at 10:47, all I want is their love, their truth, their compassion, and loyalty.
Yes.
You say, oh crap.
I say, oh crap.
This message right here,
Okay.
and then followed up by a message of WTF, correct?
Yes, correct.
So then Suzanne says, why did he buy a house with me? All this feels like everything he told me is a lie. Yes?
Yes,
And she says, I know, followed by, I'm in such shock. Yes?
yes,
And then asks you, please do not say anything, I am humiliated.
yes,
Suzanne then also says, hey, seem to be the best guy ever. Yes?
yes,
And to make sure, I know you also, just straying away from that for a second, you also had an interview with Dr. Elcon, one of the defense's experts, and this was on or about October 4th, 2025, right?
yes.
You guys spoke for about an hour and a half.
If
that
you
on-
say. I
If
don't
you
know.
remember,
Possibly,
was that on the telephone? Or?
yes,
Okay. So during that interview, you told Dr. Elcon that Suzanne consistently described David as a good guy with a good heart.
yes,
And on direct, you said that Suzanne never disclosed any physical abuse that David allegedly had done to her, correct?
correct.
Okay. So I want to continue on from here.
Okay.
We are at this, if you can see my little mouse moving.
I do.
So at 10:49, I'm sure it feels awful right now, but texting isn't the end of the world. I know several people whose husbands have done the same, and they've worked through it and are stronger than ever.
Yes.
I would say that you're being pretty reasonable. Would you say so?
Yes.
Suzanne then says, I just keep, and you say, how is that your F up, right?
Yep.
Suzanne then says, I don't know what to do. I'm sick of this day. I bought a house with him. I believed him. Yes?
Yes.
And you say, would he be willing to go to couples therapy? Yes?
Yes.
And if so, I would jump right in with both feet. And that's from you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So then she provides you with a little bit more information.
Correct.
I found out that he's supporting some woman in Romania and her daughter. Why did he introduce me to his family? Why did he take me on a trip with his family? Why did he want to meet my children? Why did he want to meet my siblings? Why did he want to buy a house with me? I'm just unlovable. Yes?
Yeah.
She then says, I want to sell my practice, just move somewhere that nobody knows me. Yes? And followed up by, I need to sell up, I need to sell my condo. I guess I need to sell that lake house. I don't want it.
Yep.
Then you say, y'all both have past. Supporting that woman and her child in Romania is not something he's probably very proud of. Did he tell you about it, or did you have to find out on your own?
Yeah.
She says, I'm not going to contact him. I'm tired of chasing. If he wants me to come find me. I found out on my own. He was not honest with me. I asked him who she was when I saw her texting him, and he lied.
Yes.
She then says, I told him I don't mind texting other women as long as they are friends. I have guy friends.
Yes.
And then you guys have a conversation. This is probably about an hour and 27 minutes or so.
Yes.
So then your conversation ends for that day. At some point during your interview with Dr. Elcon, you told Dr. Elcon Suzanne needed a lot of attention and that she was very needy, right?
Yes.
So I want to continue on. This is on to the next day.
But there's a lot more to that context.
Okay, we can get into it in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So on the,
Witness wants to complete the answer, and she can. So I think she could give the option instead of delaying it if she wants to finish it.
We're going to continue with the examination. Go ahead.
so on the 21st, this is at 1:31 after your phone call. Suzanne says, thank you for always being there for me. I fuck up so much. I'm tired and I feel so unloved, but I do love myself and I will be strong. Thank you for always loving me and for keep me going. You are the best sister and friend I have. Please don't think bad of David. He's a good guy, but maybe not the guy for me, or maybe he is. I love you. Yes?
Yes.
You say to him, to her, I apologize, I love you, don't worry, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Let's get you through the next day or two, and the path will become clear. Ask God to surround you by all of your guardian angels, of which you have many. Mama will be leading the pack and will help guide you.
Yes.
So then Suzanne says a little bit after that, I don't know when you should contact him. I don't want him to feel attacked. I want him to know it's from love. He is such a good man and he has such a good heart. This is so hard because I know he never meant to hurt me. I really believe he loves me, just doesn't know how to love me. Yes?
Yes.
So I want to ask you about that first sentence. Suzanne asked you to contact him?
In the phone call, I think I volunteered. The
Okay.
phone call that we talked
Okay, you volunteered
a
to
little later.
contact him.
Yeah, I wanted to help. And I was alarmed to hear about this woman, and I wanted to help get to the bottom of it. And no, was he going to stop? And did he really love her? And is he the one? And I just wanted to help and see if I could help them, I don't know, be some sort of mediator and see if they could get through it. As I mentioned earlier, I knew friends who had gone through some things, and they'd gotten through it and had been very open and loving with their friend group and about everything. And I have had experience in that and saw that it could happen. And so I thought perhaps this could happen too for them.
Did you ultimately end up contacting David?
No.
No. Okay. I want to continue with the text messages.
Okay.
We are at this box right here. You say, don't worry, I'm not calling him, at least not without talking things through with you first. Let's digest all of this and I'll check in on you tomorrow. Love you.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, then at some point she modifies her contact for some reason. And then y'all have another phone call in the evening for about 13 minutes, yes?
Yes.
So then that evening, a little bit after the phone call, Suzanne tells you, can you put in her phone number? I think you have to put 001R code from the US before the numbers. Yes?
Yes.
So this might not work, but it's really small.
I see it.
Whose name is that? Oh my goodness.
Lilia, I don't know if it was Bocan or how you say her last name.
Okay, so at some point she asks you to contact Lilia.
Yes, I actually volunteered not to contact her.
Okay.
I asked her for her contact information.
Okay, did you end up contacting her?
Oh, no, it was not to reach out to her. I was looking, as a realtor, we use an app called Forewarn.
Okay,
And it can give me background information on people who, making sure to know where they live and to know if they have a background or anything like that. And so I wanted to know where she lived. If he was sending money, I was just curious where they lived and where the apartment was.
okay. So at some point in this conversation that you had with Suzanne on the 21st, she volunteers this information about Lilia to you, and you are going to look her up further. But she also appears to have her phone number as well, yes?
That Suzanne has her phone number? Yes.
She sent you, okay.
Yeah, correct.
So on the 21st, continuing on, you talk about the app may only work on US numbers, but I'll see, and this is the app that you were talking about.
Correct.
So she says, okay. You say, any news? She says, can you talk? And then y'all have a conversation for about 10 minutes, yes?
Yes.
So this is later, this is on the 24th. At some point, she sends you a screenshot. Do you know what that was of? Sorry, I gotta.
Okay.
We're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. It's pretty small.
It's really blurry up here.
Okay, it's really blurry. It looks like a text conversation, but let's try to read some text messages to see if we can put some context in it. She says this was his response, right?
In that text message that you just screenshotted, that's what you're reading to me now?
This one that is right underneath, so the first one that you can see, the first full box.
Yes, I'm asking, is that what is said in that, that screenshot that you had up there?
No, so we can't read that. I can zoom in on it, but I don't think we'll be able to read it. But she's texting you here,
Okay.
124, and she said this was his response.
Okay.
Was that about David, if you recall?
I'm sure he called Hope Powers back. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
That's okay. So she says he responded. I'm sure he called Hope Powers back, and I just sent the text again, and he answered, going to eat, question mark, question mark, question mark, and then there's a period in there.
Yes.
She says, I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to focus on selling my practice in the condo, and then I'll focus on what I want to do with that lake house, may want to keep it.
Yes.
You reacted to the message, and then you loved another message, and then y'all had another conversation for about an hour or so.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So then on the 24th, Suzanne tells you, please send the PDF on David. Right?
Yes.
What is she referencing?
Where I put David's phone number in that same Forewarn app, as I thought, who is this guy and who are these people he's dealing with? This seems like, this is all surprise to her and someone she's been living with for months. I'm going to look him up as her sister. And so I put him in the Forewarn app and sent the report that came out with it.
Okay. So she then says, we're just going to continue on with the text messages. Wow, this is crazy. I found both Lilia Bocan and an Emily Estrada on Facebook. She's from Romania, but they don't look poor? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
That's right, because we assumed they were poor because that would be why he was a good guy helping them, not a mistress or, someone like that. And so it totally turned everything. We were like, this is a different deal.
Okay. But at this point, you had absolutely no idea why David was allegedly sending Lilia money, right?
No, we thought he was being a kind man sending money to a family or we made it, like I said, we give everyone the benefit of the doubt. That's how our mom was and how she taught us to be. So we were trying to hope and pray it was a good reason and that maybe that would become clear. But then when she found them on Facebook, it made us think differently.
So she finds them on Facebook. Does she send you screen captures of the Facebook accounts?
Not that I recall.
Okay. So Suzanne then says, I'm not sure if that's the same person the other day. I did show that picture to David and I said, this is Lily. He said, no, that's not her, but she does have black hair. Suzanne then says, he has not called me even though I want some answers. I do not know, or I do not want to have to reach out to him. I want to call him, but I know that's probably not the best thing to do, right?
Yes.
So you then say, even if you call him, he's likely not to give you the answers that you seek. If he was, he'd call you as you asked. Take a shower and put on a movie and try to get your mind off of him.
Yes.
Still then, you're being pretty reasonable. Would you agree?
Yes, I'm trying to counsel her and calm her and help her have a good night's rest. Yeah.
So still on the 24th, she says, she being Suzanne, I have decided, Dana, I cannot reach out to him anymore. If he texts me, I'll just respond. We need to talk. I'm so confused. I'm going to relax and watch a movie.
Yes.
She then says, I am feeling better every day. You and Leslie have helped me so much because I've been able to talk it out.
Yes.
So to confirm, she also talked to Leslie about David and Lilia.
Yes.
At some point, you do call her, and okay, then you're talking about real estate. Okay. Then you talk about real estate, and that's essentially the end of your conversation with Suzanne about Lilia and David. Yes. So then
On the text, yes.
yeah, on the text messages. So I want to get to the calls that you received from Suzanne.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we have it up here. Take a second to try and find an exhibit.
Okay.
So on the night of the, or I guess very, very, very early morning on the 8th, were you aware of what time Suzanne called 911?
I am now, but of course I didn't know then. I mean, I've heard I've been to the motion hearing and the bond hearing, so I heard a lot of stuff then.
Okay. So you're aware that Suzanne called 911 a few times? Not exactly the times, but you know she called.
I know she called, that's correct.
Were you aware that after she called 911, I would say, I think about 6 minutes after she called 911, she called you?
I didn't know the timing.
Okay. You got phone calls from Suzanne, I think about, let's check, I have it right here. Maybe, okay, 1:15 a.m.? Oh, I apologize, I'm looking at 199D. Yes. So she calls you at about 1:15 a.m.,
Okay.
if you remember.
I saw the calls the next day, and I remember it being after 1 and before 1:30, but I can't recall exactly the exact.
So from your knowledge from the motions hearing and whatnot, you remember that she called, after she calls you, she then calls 911 again,
Okay?
yes?
Yes, again, I didn't know what order, but yes.
And then she calls you again at around 1:22, yes?
Yes, I saw that on my phone.
Okay. Did she leave you a voicemail?
No.
So I want to get back to what you were saying about the Leslie's birthday party.
Yes.
So you said that was the first time that you had any direct contact with David.
That I'd spent more time in a room with him, but the first time I had contact with him was the Georgia-Florida game at Brogan's restaurant.
Florida game. And that was November 2nd? Or that weekend,
That's
like
right.
October 31st?
Yeah,
or
first
something?
Saturday of November. That could have been November 2nd.
Okay, so then you also told Dr. Elcon that aside from the party that you hadn't had any direct contact with David before that party. So,
Correct.
okay, so you're saying that at the Georgia-Florida game, he was just kind of there and you didn't really interact? Okay.
There was a group of us. We weren't sitting or anything. We were just standing and getting a spot to watch the kickoff. And so, you know how girls will kind of get together and guys will get together. And so Suzanne and I had not seen each other in a while, so we were hanging out together with a couple of our friends.
So on January 17th, I believe that's Leslie's birthday party?
18th.
18th, I'm so sorry. And you said about 30 to 40 people were there,
Rough estimate, yes.
rough estimate. It sounds like family members.
And friends.
And it was at a barn?
One of Leslie's best friends has a really nice property, and right next to it is, they call it the barn, but it's not an actual barn. It's this really nice property where they keep things, but they also clear it out, and they have birthday parties and cookouts and things there. It overlooks the marsh, and it's really pretty.
Oh, it sounds really nice. So this 60th birthday party was being held there. It's private, Suzanne's family is there, and this is in St. Simon's.
This is actually in Brunswick, just over the bridge on the mainland.
So at the time, you said, let me just make sure. Okay, so on direct, you said that David was kind of pulling her away and they'd be talking and then they'd separate and whatnot. I believe you also told Dr. Elcon that he was a bit possessive of her. So, but this was the first time that you've had direct contact with him. And there's about 30 to 40 people at a party, yes?
Yes.
You just got to give an affirmative because the court reporter's taking notes.
Yep.
30, 40 people at a party. And David, to your knowledge, is not from St. Simon's or Brunswick, right?
Right?
So, I mean, to your knowledge, Suzanne was the only person that he probably knew, right?
True, but we're all super friendly, and everyone walked up and said hello and introduced him, and, he could have interacted, and we certainly tried to interact with him. And when I say they weren't sitting over there like he was holding his hand, there was talk, whatever was happening with them. It just seemed off.
Right, and that's the 18th, so that's, I guess, did Suzanne tell you when she found out about Lilia?
A couple days after this party, she told me about it.
Okay, so she told you about it a few days after, but she didn't tell you when exactly
She did tell me that she was in a car with him. She didn't tell me the exact date, or maybe she said, I know they were heading to a furniture store, I believe, in a vehicle. And she found a text came in on his phone, and he had said, I think he wanted her to put directions in to the phone. And so she was doing that, and a text came in from, I believe, Lilia. And that she was like, what is this? And he reached over and was trying to grab the phone from her and wouldn't explain to her what it was. It's nothing, and flew off the handle. And they ended up not going to the furniture store. And she was like, just explain to me what it is. And he just wouldn't. And so that's where all that began.
And that information came from Suzanne?
Suzanne, yes.
Okay.
But she had held it. She was embarrassed. She didn't want to tell me about it. But then it all started coming to a head. And that's when she told me about it. But she, like she said in her text to me, I was humiliated. And she was heartbroken. And she was hoping beyond hope that they would get through it. And that he would be the person she thought he was.
So just a little bit of a timeline. So the 18th is Leslie's 60th birthday. These conversations kind of started on the 20th.
Yeah.
It's safe to assume, and would you agree with me, that Suzanne found out about Lilia prior to the birthday party?
Yeah, that's what I think some of the talk may have been. I don't really know. But yes, and she told me about it. I think maybe that long phone call that we had could have been when she told me the details.
So you'd agree with me in saying it's quite possible that David was in an uncomfortable environment and he's quibbling with Suzanne about this Lilia chick, so he may be uncomfortable.
Maybe, but she painted him as someone who was also the life of the party. This is not the person we saw who she described. You know, she loved being, you know, when she went down to his family, they had a good time, and she thought, you know, it was all great. So that was not a person that she described sitting in that room.
And you said, I apologize, Suzanne never told you about any physical abuse that David allegedly committed against her?
No.
And David never likewise told you about any sort of sexual abuse that David did against Suzanne?
No.
I'd like to ask you about February 2nd, 2025. So at some point early in the morning, and you talked about this with Dr. Elcon, that you missed a call from Suzanne, and that you knew that she was in the emergency room.
I did not know she was in the emergency room, no.
Okay, so that must have,
Just
never mind.
probably a missed call. That would happen in I believe, the heat of the moment. And I would call her back the next day, and she would say, oh, it was a butt dial. But I knew in my heart that it wasn't, because by the morning, she would have gotten a clearer head, and then she would be embarrassed and not want to tell me what happened. Because by then, you know, they had, you know, sort of made up, and again, she was trying to paint him in a light to us that he was a good guy.
You also said, so I guess you got a call from her then, and Suzanne said it was a butt dial. You also got a call from Suzanne on or about February 16th or 17th, 2025, and that was the day that she was arrested for DUI, yes?
I did not get a call that night that I recall. Perhaps, but I don't recall that.
Okay. Well, do you have the timeline from the 16th and 17th? Let me check what number it is.
I think Mary Madden did, but not me, I don't think.
Well, it's fine. You don't recall?
In fact, I was out of town that weekend, and I would have called to make sure she was okay and reached out to her, and we did not speak that weekend or text back and forth. I was, you know, with some friends, and I think I would remember that.
Okay.
But I do know that Mary Madden had a missed call from her.
You did say, though, on direct that David surprised her that weekend. So this is the weekend of the 17th, that she told you, or you were aware that David surprised her.
I don't know exactly which weekend, but when it happened, he's like, he surprised me. I'm going to go over to the lake next weekend. And I thought, okay.
Were you aware that David only came because Suzanne lied to David about a medical issue she had been having? No further questions.